of Fan City, Canton, Ohio, weighing in tonight at 190 pounds, Lamar!
We saw Trey Lamar in a show-stealing performance when he was in there with MB Young and Chase Oliver.
Yeah, this young man has proven time and time again in his little bit of time here in Ryse Wrestling that he is definitely here to compete.
And introducing his opponent, from where the wild things are, weighing in tonight at 238 pounds, he is the Bearcat, Haught!
The nicest man in professional wrestling. Paul, it's very divisive these days. People argue about everything. What color shirt you wear, what color your hair is, your haircut. But I think that we can all agree that we all love Keith Haught.
Oh, how can you not? This guy is always fun-loving everywhere he goes.
Well, I'm not saying this is a wrestling announcer. I'm telling you straight up. Keith Haught is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. And you know that he loves to compete. And we are going to see a very unique contest here against Trey Lamar. Fan favorites here, Paul. I don't think we're going to see, as much as we saw Golden Sheik try to exploit the rules here, I think we're going to see a clean athletic contest between these two young men.
Oh, sure. And, Keith, he's still looking for a way to rebound here against the losses that he's suffered over the last several months.
He's been on a skid, undoubtedly. Yeah. And I said, I love the guy. I think he's legitimately one of the genuinely nicest human beings I've ever met. But his win-loss record is not great. Colby Red and Baldwin 2 weeks ago tattooed Keith right between the eyes and put him down for the count.
Yeah, you couple that up with the several attempts he's made at trying to win the Ryse Grand Championship. Our last event here in this building against his good friend Tony Johnson, he was on the losing end once again.
And let's not forget, one Zach Thomas was originally scheduled for this matchup. He was signed to a contract with BC Steel for Ryse Pro Wrestling. And believe it or not, Zach Thomas claimed that Keith Haught was not up to par, was not competitive enough for him, not up to his standard. Very arrogant, in my opinion, from Zach Thomas.
Yeah, that could be a mistake right there.
So Zach Thomas simply chose not to sign for the match.
Sure,
he refused.
Trey Lamar doesn't care. He'll fight anybody.
Yeah, Trey Lamar will compete anywhere, anytime. Zach Thomas is arrogant enough to think that Keith Haught is not up to his level. I disagree. Wow, big mid-ring contact. Keith using his size advantage there. And Paul, I know I've belabored this point, but I do have to say, in the world we live in, sometimes it's difficult to have hope. Keith Haught gives me hope. Such a good guy.
That's a good thing. And I'll tell you, not very often. I mean, Keith is a very thick individual, but this is one of the rare times where not only in size but stature that Keith has actually got the advantage.
Shoots Lamar in. Beautiful agility from Lamar, a trademark of his career. Rolls through. Man, Keith got hung up. Hits the concrete, but he's not safe out there. Lamar could be going for a highlight reel.
He did. Right to the floor.
You know, Paul, true story. My dad met Trey Lamar once, told him he was very talented, and the parting words that Mr. O'Malley gave Trey Lamar, "You're good, kid, just be careful jumping out of the ring. You gotta be careful."
I don't think Trey Lamar cares about that. He just loves jumping out of that ring and on top of anybody that he can land on.
He's really a part of the evolution of professional wrestling in many ways. A true hybrid athlete. And there's no chance he won't take to pursue greatness in this sport. What height? 2.5. And if we can here, because this action is moving so fast. We talked about Keith Haught's story. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. We heard in our introductions, Lamar from the city of Canton, Ohio. That is one of the most dangerous cities in America. And Trey Lamar uses professional wrestling as his way toward a better life.
Sure, professional wrestling pretty much saved this young man's life.
And it's really a remarkable story, and quite frankly, and I mean this sincerely as well, it's tremendous to see Trey Lamar find success in professional wrestling. Out the back door here. Keith, again, using that low center of gravity to his advantage.
Yeah, that's just it right there.
And you can see that Lamar was thrown off by that.
Sure. Trey Lamar is used to working and wrestling guys who are a lot quicker.
And again, low center of gravity, using it to generate momentum for an elbow of his own there.
Sure. Trey Lamar doesn't always have a size advantage necessarily, but he's never fought an athlete in quite the shape of Keith Haught, that's for sure.
Keith Haught is such a unique commodity because, as you said, let's be honest here, the guy's got a stomach. He enjoys some food, but he's quick, he's agile. He uses his unique body structure as an asset. And it takes a really special athlete to be able to do that.
Sure, like Dusty Rhodes used to say, his belly might be a little big and his hiney might be a little big, but he is one hell of an athlete.
And we're seeing it right there because he's hanging in there step for step with one of the most agile and one of the most fast athletes we've seen in Ryse so far. I mean, let's be honest here. But Lamar avoided the contact that time. And as far as we're talking about good stories, another good story, see how Ryse Pro Wrestling continuing to evolve and continuing to grow. It's great to see the seats jam-packed here tonight for Stronghold.
We'll be back in Baldwin again next month, hopefully to another sellout crowd.
Haught follows Lamar in.
5 minutes on, 5 minutes.
Lamar avoids the contact. Beautiful shotgun drop kick.
And you see the way Keith just bounced out of that corner from that
ricocheting
heavy
on
drop
impact.
kick.
Absolutely. Lamar is perched.
A lot of leg strength by Trey Lamar there.
No water in the pool and a double stomp. Keith Haught interception.
Big Samoan drop.
Hit the Samoan drop perfectly. Lamar got the shoulder up. You can see the toughness of Lamar. He has pain etched on his face, but he wasn't going to relinquish this opportunity. Lamar looks at every matchup as a chance to prove himself in this sport.
Oh, wow. You can just hear that impact.
And just listen to this, Paul.
You can just hear the smack of flesh on bone.
Lamar's going to rally here. And Keith Haught showing his veteran status. And made sure he landed it perfectly.
Yeah, he didn't catch it all the first time, but he made sure he got it the second.
But this has been such a fast-paced, aggressive matchup. You can see that both athletes are worn down. This matchup is taking its toll, and rightfully so.
Sure, these guys are going at it tooth and nail here for the better part of almost 10 minutes.
Keith favoring that left arm. And this is where you got to ask yourself, it's gut check time.
Yeah, how bad do you want it?
Up and over goes Lamar. Lamar hurls himself at Keith Haught. Nice series of strikes. And the payway kick connected that time.
Caught him that second time.
Top of the head.
You notice, despite how tired both these athletes are, Lamar was able to grab that outside leg to make sure Keith Haught could not put it on that bottom rope to break that pin attempt.
Very wise observation, Paul. And Lamar could be going to the sky. He got caught, I believe. Keith again using his veteran sense to sucker Lamar in.
Lamar took a little bit too much time trying to set that up.
High risk here.
Lamar trying to block this attempt here.
Pivotal point in this contest, Paul. Oh, man. Keith went crashing to the canvas.
Yeah, Lamar caught him with that kick.
And Lamar's taking that home run swing. He's going for broke. Double
Big
stomp.
double stomp.
Gotta be it. Back press. No. Right shoulder comes up and Lamar is in shock.
He did not have his weight fully over the top of Keith Haught's shoulders.
Lamar looks exhausted. Keith Haught looks exhausted. But this right here is competition.
These guys have been going at it fast and furious now.
There are no shortcuts here. These two just want to see who is the best on this given night.
Pretty much holding each other up at this point.
Rolling elbow connects. Sit out Liger bomb. Could be all. I don't know how he kicked out of that.
Unbelievable. This is without a doubt an impressive match by these two young men.
This has been an impressive night, Paul, up and down the card.
Sure.
And we still have our grand championship match. This is Ryse Pro Wrestling right here.
And see, anything can happen. I even leave the announce table once or twice.
Keith trying to assert his dominance over Lamar. Man, big mid-ring collision. Keith had enough wherewithal to fall forward.
Incredible.
I am at a loss, Paul. I'm at a loss for words.
Amazing, both these athletes are still standing and still battling.
And now it's Keith Haught that must be willing to take a risk to put this one away. But what is Troy Lawrence doing out here?
Troy Lawrence is making his way down the ringside.
Troy has no right to be here.
He's talking to Keith Haught.
Well, Keith was distracted. I don't blame him with somebody like Troy Lawrence looking at you. The distraction allows Lamar. Lamar gets out of the way. Lamar is still trying to regain his composure. He doesn't know what's going on. Springboard clothesline. Clearly, Troy Lawrence is playing mind games with Keith Haught. Bulldog driver from Lamar. And that will do it.
Troy Lawrence with just enough of a distraction.
The winner of this match has the result of the pinfall. Lamar!
And I don't know what the story is with Troy Lawrence, but he left his fingerprints on this matchup.
He provided just enough of a distraction to Keith Haught that he missing that splash off the top, and Trey Lamar was able to get the victory.
Lamar has put himself on the winning track here at Ryse, but the skid continues for the Bearcat.
And where does this leave Keith Haught?
Well, I don't want to doubt Keith Haught, but the Bearcat may be at a real crossroads in his Ryse career.
Yeah, he can't endure too many more losses like this, Jim.
Our grand championship, our feature presentation coming up next.